but we are outside and we are here to talk about traveling. And as you can see, it says part of Lisa Lewis's crew. And why did I say that? Because when we posted our first picture, someone had commented, "Oh, I hope you and the crew have a good time." And I thought about it. And part of the reason why I'm traveling is because of this woman right here. I had actually stopped traveling and I was just taking staycations. And then I remember we were in a school, we were in a ministry program. And every time I remember, it was like clockwork. We would be on a conference call in the morning and roll call would happen. And the person who was overseeing the call would say, "And Lisa Lewis is on vacation." First time I heard it, I didn't think anything of it. A few months later, "Oh, that's right, Lisa Lewis is on vacation." Okay, second time I was like, okay, well, I guess she's getting her time in. This is all in the same year. Third time, "Lisa Lewis, that's right, she's out, she's on vacation." And that got me thinking. I said, what is it that this woman is doing differently than I am, that she is able to not only excel in her homework, to be a wife, a mother, and a grandmother among the other business pursuits that she has with travel, along her other ministry pursuits and her Bible studies, that's allowing her to travel this way. So I just asked her, I said, look, we've got to get you on a live because I know a lot of people who, not just myself, who would love to travel as much as you do, and they want to know how you got started. So let's just talk about that. First of all, how did you get started traveling?
Well, when I first got started, we were doing a lot of timeshare travel, taking the tours because they were free. So when we first started, we've been to Hawaii on free accommodation, but we had to take a tour. Massanutten is, if people are familiar with Virginia, Massanutten, that's up in the mountain. We've been to Vegas, we've been to Florida many times on timeshare. So we didn't have much money when we first started traveling, but that's how we would take our travel. So my advice to you, if you say you don't have any funds, look for a timeshare event in the place that you want to go. Like, say for instance, if you want to go to Hawaii, I would say any timesharing hotels there, so you can take. They'll give you 3 to 4 days, but you also can add days to that if you like. But you just got to have your own transportation. But they also offer you something too for taking the tour.
That is excellent. As a matter of fact, I took that advice, and that's how I ended up going to New York. I did. And then look who accompanied me because I could bring a guest for free. But I took that and it was worth it. I was able to spend time in New York, see some sights, and all I had to do was attend a presentation and then leave. So it's definitely worth it. Now, this is a question I have for you because you are so well traveled. I was going to ask you how many countries you visited, but I know that's such a big number. So let me ask you to just mention some of the countries that you visited. And if you can say among all of them, if it was, what was your favorite country or what was your favorite experience when visiting a country?
Well, I've been to so many countries: Italy, Paris, London, Barcelona, all the Caribbean, the majority of the Caribbean. And you asked what's my favorite place.
Yes.
If you look behind us, you see blue sky and blue water. This is my happy place, the Caribbean, where the water is blue and just relaxing too. So, and sightseeing in places that I haven't been. Also been to Australia, got to see the koala bears. So yeah, but this is my happy place.
And you just went to, didn't you go to Bali this year? Or
Yeah,
was it?
this year I went to Bali, Phuket, and Bangkok, and then we're on a cruise ship right now.
Yep.
So a lot of people are from Indonesia, and when I see their name tag said Indonesia, I know that that's the part where I've been, and you should see their face. It just lights up like a Christmas tree. So
Yes, and I actually witnessed that this morning. I came in and I saw Lisa talking to the waiter, and she was showing him pictures of her trip, and he was so excited that someone not only had visited his country, but had a great appreciation for the sights and the beauty there. So let me ask you this. I know that you have taken several cruises. What is your status on a Carnival and Royal Caribbean, and what does that mean? Because I've only taken in my life, I've taken maybe 5 cruises total.
Well, I'm diamond on Carnival and Royal Caribbean. Diamond is the highest level on Carnival, but I believe it's double diamond on Royal Caribbean. I haven't reached double diamond on Royal Caribbean yet because my majority cruises are on Carnival because I always travel with family and friends and they want a part of the fun ship. So
That's and that's awesome because we are having a great time on the Carnival Mardi Gras. That's for sure. Now, let me ask you this: how did you become passionate about travel?
well, I believe my first trip was to Bahamas, and this was many, many moons ago. And when I was in college, as an adult, I was
Mhm.
taking up travel classes. And when taking those travel classes, you see the different places. And I was like, yeah, I want to do that. But I started travel, it just became a passion. And I always like to bring family and friends together because when you travel with family and friends, you're making memorable moments that cannot be erased. Just like we're on the ship, and it's about 30 something of us on the ship. We're making memorable moments, and yeah, people go off and do their own things, but somehow or another, we just all come together at some time, even if it's at dinner time. So
Yes, it's. I mean, I've noticed that even so, we're all doing the same thing. For example, Lisa found me and my roommate Francine Brooks twice. Wasn't even looking for us. We were just on the Lido deck relaxing, and she walked by and she found us. And I've also encountered other times where I was on the Lido deck just enjoying myself, and I saw other parts of Lisa's crew. And to be clear, it's not 30; it is 32 because I counted. There are 32 of us that are part of Lisa's crew. Isn't that absolutely amazing?
it is.
Now, you mentioned your travel business before on the last. I'd love for you to talk about that, how you got into that. Just tell us the ins and outs and the secrets of being a travel agent.
Well, first, when I started in the travel business, I used to be under this lady. Her company was called Ambassador Cruises, and I had to give her 40% of my commission
Mm.
just from being up underneath of her. And I was like, I'm not gonna keep doing that. And I mean, I had busloads of people going to these cruise ports, and just imagine I had to give 40% of
Woo.
that to someone else, and I was like, no. And then I looked into it, did the research, so I started my own travel business. But at first, when I started the travel business, I was doing land trips and cruises. But I found out doing that, you would look up these trips for people, trying to find them a good deal, but they will always go behind your back
Ah,
and look their own trip up, and they may find something different, even if it's $10 or $5 different. People would take that $5 different, which is perfectly fine. But then I got my niche, specializing in cruises, specializing in group cruises. So that's all I do. And if you want me to,
yes.
if you want me to help you with your group cruise, just I'm located at Destin to travel. That's Destine to travel. Send me an email, or you can leave me a voice message, or 301-499-7235, and I'm here to help you to meet your needs.
Awesome. And I will definitely post that information in the chat when we're done, because I can tell you the reason why I'm on this cruise right now. First of all, the reason why, as I said at the beginning, I started considering taking vacations was because of this woman right here. And then when I decided to take the cruise last year, because I'd taken, like I said, 3 or 4 cruises before, but I had such a good time. And it wasn't just because of the cruise ship, it wasn't just because of the people, it was because of the excellent service and information before. It was just a lot of hand holding that made me feel as a customer cared for. Like, I care about you getting there, I care about if you're going to enjoy yourself while on the cruise, and I care about you making it home. So that's the reason why, I would stick with her and I would highly recommend her. I mean, I give this lady 6 out of 5 stars because of her excellent, not only customer service, but also her going above and beyond to make sure the people on her crew, Lisa Lewis's crew, are comfortable. Now, something like I said, you and you kind of alluded to it. You talked about how you used to do King of Prussia tours, Canal Street, Jersey Garden Mall. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So I used to do bus trips, and around Christmas time, I would do a bus trip to New York. I'm located in the DMV area. I used to do bus trips to New York. We would go to Canal Street, 34th Street, and we would also go to the mall called I can't think of the mall name right now, Jersey Garden
Yeah.
Mall. And at that time when I was doing it, that's when it's Christmas time when we do it. You just have boatloads of buses coming up New York, but things has shifted. People wanted to go to Canal Street to get the famous pocketbooks, the knockoffs. So I would take them there. And King of Prussia Mall, one of the biggest mall in the northeast area. So I would do that, and even did a bus trip to Myrtle Beach.
Oh,
And yeah, and but let me tell you about the Myrtle Beach trip. It was a 4-day trip,
uh-huh.
and we got there the first day, everybody having a wonderful time. Then the next day we were at the buffet having crab legs. I hear because I got a schedule, but everybody don't have to go by the schedule because this is your vacation.
Yes.
A man come in the buffet, Lisa Lewis, and I'm like, yes. He said, you need to go back to your hotel and evacuate your people. I said, what? Because it was a storm or whatever. And so we had to evacuate because we were on the water. We had to evacuate, and we had to try. We evacuating, and everybody else evacuating, and so we had to try to get hotel rooms. And there was piles of people in certain rooms, and then they had this place, the school that you can go to if one of those
Yep.
centers.
Yep.
So that was an experience, and it was real nice. But we could, and another reason we had to go there because we couldn't put the bus driver back on the road because after a certain amount of hours you can't put the bus drivers on the road. But it was exciting, even in that, because the families, we got close there because we were supposed to have a party, a birthday party for one of our nieces. And it was really fun.
That's awesome. And see, you must practice. All right. Well, I'm sure Lisa Lewis can hook you up as to where to go the next time we are on trip. And then, yes, you're home to South Carolina. And just because for MC Brooks commented, I'm going to say go Tigers. Now, something that you shared with me, which I thought was admirable, and I think this is about your grandbaby, because what's amazing about Lisa is that she's not only raising up her grandbaby in the fear and admonition of the Lord, also focusing her on education and her purpose, but she makes sure that she's also well traveled. And isn't she the youngest? What was the award she got?
She got an award on this ship for being the youngest platinum member on the ship. And when you have about a whole lot of people with red cards, this may be their first trip. So she's just like the American Express. We don't leave home without.
I love it.
And we're shooting for diamond for her. So I need to find out where she's at this moment.
So she is following in your footsteps.
She is. She is.
So let me ask you this, because I think you said you told your daughter and husband to tell you where they want to go for their birthday, major birthday.
Yeah.
Now, what made you start doing that? And that's such a creative idea in terms of showing love to your family members.
Because we always like to travel. Just like, for instance, the Australia trip. I would have never wanted to go to Australia, but my daughter wanted to go to Australia, to see the koala bears. And so we went to that. That was for one of her major birthday. So I forget how old she was. So we went to Australia, but we also got on a cruise ship too. So each place we normally go, we always get on a cruise ship. And when we was over in Bali, if we had enough time, I would have got on a cruise ship so I could see the different islands too as well.
So let me ask you this, because I know a lot of people are wondering, especially those who want to ball on a budget. How have you been able? Because we know you are someone who watches her money. You're the one who always says, Never leave any money on the table. You said always max out and match in terms of any type of company matching program like a 401k. You also advise us once you told us once you started investing for retirement, you may have started late, but once you jumped in and you did it to the best of your ability. So people are wondering, how are you able to, you know, well, hopefully retire soon, but you're still working, you're still traveling, you're still investing for retirement. Not only that, but you're also helping your family. How are you doing all of this?
First, I want to say this too. Make sure you pay your bills first. Sorry. Yeah, you got to pay those, because you have some people would just take their credit card and max out for a trip. But if now this was me, people love to shop, people love to look glamorous and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted my money to go to trips because it's relaxation and you can reset. But what I would
Yes.
say to you, if you really want to travel, each time you get paid, just put a little something to the side and just say that's my travel, that's for me. And you want to enjoy the fruit of your labors, and then you also want to be able to travel while you can, because it gets to a point sometime in your life where you're unable to travel. But if you look at the people that's on this ship, you see people on scooters.
I'm sorry. There's a
Some we got a bee who want
yeah.
to be
Yeah,
interviewed.
the bee wants to come in and listen to and be part of Lisa Lewis's crew.
Right. But anyway,
It's okay. It's not a wasp, so I'm not
oh,
afraid.
it's on you.
It's all good. I'm not afraid as long as it's not a wasp. Anyway, go ahead.
But you see people with wheelchairs, oxygen tank, just pushing, but they hit and they doing it, and which is a wonderful thing, because sometimes people can get stuck. You get sick, you're like, I'm not going anywhere. I mean, okay. What you
Look,
trying to
B,
say?
we know you want to be part of
Right.
Lisa Lewis's crew, but not now. Okay,
Right.
go ahead.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So it's best, how like people say it's best to travel, or and another thing too, people say, well, I'll do it next time. I'll do it next time. A next time may not be.
That's
So
excellent. And as a matter of fact, it's so funny because once I found out about Lisa and traveling, I told her, and my passport had expired in 2017. So the last time I'd actually gone and taken a trip was 2016. Now I got to know her. I mean, I knew who she was, but I really didn't get to know her in terms of us starting to talk regularly until like some point in, I guess, 2021, but really 2022. But once I found out, I talked to her about traveling. I remember I said, "Oh, I'm going to come on a trip with you." And then there were several opportunities. And then I said, "No, no, I don't even have my passport. I'm not going. I'm not going." And then one year, I think it was 2023, was when I finally got my passport. And I said, "I'm coming. I'm coming this year." And she was like, "Ganae," she was like, "Ganae, I'm not trying to mess with you. You're not coming. You said you're coming." I said, "No, I promise you, I am going on a trip with you. It may just be a cruise, but I will be on a trip with you this year." And that's what happened. Actually, it didn't happen until 2024. But now I'm on a trip with her now. And look, I've decided to make this trip a yearly thing because not only do I enjoy her company, like I said, I enjoy the excellent customer service, but you do need a reset. You don't realize how much you need a reset until you get on a vacation and you don't have to clock in. You don't have to. You can look at your computer, but what if you don't want to look at your computer? You can go to the beach. I live for the beach, but it's different when you are away. You're in a different environment. You're around people you don't know. And something that I also noticed on this cruise, because usually you're on your cruise, most people are pleasant. Most people, excuse me, thank you, hello, how are you doing? Because why? They're on vacation mode. So they're happy. So it's almost like a cocoon away from the quote unquote real world that we have to get back to tomorrow. But we're in this nice little beautiful microcosm of society where everyone's happy. For the most part, people are getting along, people are laughing, people are eating well, people are enjoying. Yes, Cassandra, you need to come next year.
that's right. That's
You
right.
come next year and bring your girls, bring your husband.
And the baby.
Hey, yes.
And the baby.
Yes, join us because it makes, I remember when I came back last year, because I hadn't gone away on a vacation for such a long time. And remember, when I went back to work, everybody was like, oh my gosh, you're glowing. Everybody who would see me was like, your skin looks amazing, you're glowing, what have you, what did you do? And I told them, and they were like, wow. So if you want that, vacation glow, that relaxation. And even my mom, while I was on this cruise, I talked to my mom yesterday, and she said, oh my goodness, you sound so happy. You sound so much different than you did before you were on the cruise. And I said, really? And she said, yes. And I said, okay. So, and I felt that too. I felt a different kind of a peace, a different kind of enjoyment, and just, relaxing. There's just nothing like taking some time. Yes, but even though you are working, people a lot are on vacation mode mentally. So work may not be as intense as it is, say, Q1. But look what's around the corner. Q1 is around the corner, and we know, at least in my industry, and I'm assuming, where you are in the government, it is intense. I know for me in my industry, January through March are the top revenue generating months after, October through December. So it's time for you to get a reset before you have to go back in and face the wolves that are going to face you come January 2026, because that's really how it is, to be truthful. Now, I want to ask you this question in terms of, we're almost done here, but I want to ask you another question about being a travel agent. Why should someone use a travel agent as opposed to just booking their vacations on themselves?
I'm gonna just say this. Uh,
Okay.
I'm gonna just say this too. When you have a travel agent, you have someone that who's gonna hold your hand. Just like for instance, I know that you can go and book your cruise online, but you have someone that's gonna hold your hand. Yeah, the cruise line they're gonna tell you what to do, but you have someone who a lot of times people if something go wrong, you want to blame someone. So it's best if you blame me than the cruise line because it's going to take a while for them to get get done what you need
Yeah.
to get done. For instance, I have some people going on a trip next week, and the lady called me, and we were in Nassau, Bahamas. So I picked up my phone because if I'm gonna be available for you at any given time. So I picked up my phone, and she wanted to get a room with for two doubles close together. I told her that I was in Nassau. I said, but you can call and find out if they have anything available because you were so close to the travel time. So, and I said, just text me and I'll get it done. But she called me back and said the ship was full, so it was nothing else that I could do for her. But another thing too, you want people who have experienced it before. Just like for instance, yeah, we're at Celebration Keys, and if Gane can lift it up, and you can just see in the background, you see people at the beach. It's kind of chilly right now, right? So Carnival, you can bring it back around. Oh, you gonna do it? See if you can look behind me. Carnival is not gonna tell you that it's a little chilly in Nassau now. You see, I got my jacket
Yep.
on, and the time of year to come to Nassau is really in the summertime, because the water's cold. But I tell people that, but Carnival not gonna tell you that.
That's right.
So
That's right, because you know what? She has the inside track. Not only that, she's been here before, because we were talking. I was like, oh, I need to get out because I have not been to Celebration Key. I've been to obviously Nassau, but I hadn't been to Celebration Key. And then she started telling me about it. I was like, wait a minute. You've been here already, because this was opened in July. Listen, this is how on top of travel she is. This island opened officially July 2025. When did you go?
I went the first week of November.
See? So she stays traveling. Her hashtag really is hashtag stay traveling, because she stay traveling. Hashtag stay traveling right here. Now let me ask you this, because you stay traveling. When is your next trip, and are you allowing other people who would be interested to join you?
My next trip is in February. It's over the Valentine weekend. That's if you want to travel in the Valentine weekend frame. Welcome. Just like I said, my email address is Destin.
Hey, look who's here. Francine Brooks in
That's
the
right.
building.
That's right.
That's my roommate.
Yes, yes. I'm glad she joined us.
Me too. Me too. Now she ran away, but it's okay.
But it's Destin, DESTINE 2 travel. And just send me an email or leave me a voicemail at 301-499-7235. And if you have, even if you wanted to do a family trip, just let me no TO.
Okay.
Even if you have a family vacation, if you want someone to help plan it, if it's a cruise, I'm here to help you.
Okay. All right.
To travel at AOL.
Okay, I'm going to type this in here, and then I'll send the rest of the information so you all can.
AOL.
Yep.
That's A.
Yep, that's it. I will send the rest of. Oh, Paisley, we love you. We can't wait to see you next year on the cruise.
Yes, Paisley. I want to pinch your cheeks.
Yes. So, yeah. See, we love Paisley. We love you, Cassandra. Thank you all for joining us. Hold
up. We have a traveler right here. We got a Santa Claus right here traveling with us. Do you want to give the people a good word?
God bless all.
Hey! That's the best way, okay? That is the best way to end this live. So again, thank you all for joining us. I'm going to paste Lisa's information in the chat so you all can get it. But you will see Lisa again on here. You will see Francine again on here because you know who we are. This is part of Lisa's crew signing off.
All right. Peace.
Bye-bye.